Hi everyone. Hello from Flutter Ahmedabad, and yeah, we have Himanshu as well. And then we have Bharat, and one, two, three, we have Sunny as well in the room. Great. We are super excited to do this with all of you together. I'm not sure, we haven't looked at the number yet of the viewers, but that's okay. That's a secondary thing. Imagine, I mean, I don't know. It's been a while that we have been into library and reading a book, right? Then this will be sort of a virtual library when we all will be reading few chapters of the book, right? Only the team knows what they have planned. I am somewhere aware about it, but I won't spill all the bins. I'll let them do what they have planned and prepared. So Bharat and Sunny has jotted down some points from few chapters in the initial part, and they will be doing some coding sessions as well, but in some indexing view it is we are going to read this book together in few chapters in chunks, and I have Dash and Bharat. You also have that. I can see that cute nose. Yep, take it up and say hi from every one of us. If you're missing Bhavik Makwana from the team, he will be joining us super soon. Meanwhile, let's get started. You guys have prepared some document that you can share with them? Anything like that?
Actually, so the way we should go about is that what everyone who is joining us today can do is get their free copy of Flutter Apprentice book provided by ravendelic.com. So right now, till limited time, we everyone can go ahead and get the free copy of the book and learn Flutter in their own pace. So the book is very good, and even if you have some experience or if you have never learned Flutter or seen how it works or anything, then also you can get started and reach to a point where you will be able to publish your own app. So I hope you are excited to get started and learn more with us.
Awesome, awesome. So, if at all you get stuck somewhere, drop your confusion in the comment section. Our team is there. We are reading it all, and the best part about this, you can read it at your own pace. You don't need, like, we are not in competition. It is going to be more of a candid conversation along with some reading. हाँ, तो शुरू हो जाओ। सनी भाई ऐसे बता रहे हैं कि बुक इज वेरी गुड, जैसे उन्होंने पूरी पढ़ रखी है, बट लेट मी टेल यू द सीक्रेट। हमने बैक स्टेज क्या किया है, हमने बुक को ऐसे फ्लिप करके पूरा देखा है, तो वो ऐसे ही थोड़े इम्प्रेस हो गए थे। Now he's he has been caught red-handed, so he'll have to just smile and let it be like that. So the link of the book is there in the comment. Get access to your copy of book, and let's take a moment or two to have the book on your screen. You can take few minutes to have your friends join us. I mean, yeah, it's completely fine. जरूरी नहीं कि आप स्क्रीन पे हमें देखो, बेटर आप स्क्रीन पे उस बुक को देखो, बट जहाँ कंफ्यूज हो जाओ वहां पे कमेंट पे बता दो ताकि हम मिलके उसे करें। कुछ कंफ्यूजन जो बहुत कॉमन हमें लगी कि यहाँ पे शायद हम स्टक हो सकते हैं, क्योंकि हमारी टीम भी हुई थी, तो हमने उन चीजों की कोडिंग फॉर्मेट बना लिए हैं, एंड देन वी विल बी रीलोडिंग, और क्या कहते हैं उसे फ्लटर में,
Hot
हॉट
reloading.
रीस्टार्ट। यस, वील बी डूइंग दैट हॉट रीस्टार्ट टुगेदर। And yeah, that's pretty much the plan for today. If that goes well, we will plan it again very soon. Let's hope it to be a fruitful one, right?
Yeah. So how should we go about it, Bharat, Himanshu?
Okay, so we have chapter and inside chapters we have topics. So we will talk about all the topics like what is Flutter and Flutter's history and many other topics. And then we will talk about those topics and then we will go to next chapter where we have to install Flutter SDK and then creating a new application and how we will create a new application mentioned in the book. So we will follow the book.
So
Since it's
one
an
more thing.
ebook session, more of. Go ahead, son.
Yeah, one more thing. Do you need anything to code along or work along with us? Nope, nothing. Today will whatever we will do, everything can be done using dartpad.dev. Dartpad lets you run your Flutter code all in your browser without installing any software on your computer. So, so today we'll also look at how you install Flutter on your computer, and from next time we will practice on that. So let's open the book. Is there any other, uh, I mean, pre-start work? Any other announcements? Yeah, paper and pen. Yeah, you can take notes if you feel like, if you want to remember something, and also feel free to uh, copy the links in your own notes whenever we share something. But most of the things are there in the book. So let's move forward. So
And the
first
best
of all,
part of this book is hello. And the best part of this book is that you can also highlight inside a book. So if you want to highlight, you can also do that in the book. So it will be saved in your account. So you can refer it whenever you want.
yeah, uh, Bharat, why don't you start sharing the screen and show us the book and uh, how to work with the book, how to
Okay.
learn from it.
Yeah, sure.
सब अपनी अपनी कॉफी लेके बैठ जाओ, चाय कॉफी जो लेते जो पढ़ते टाइम चाहिए, क्योंकि अगर दिमाग पे जोर आया, उठ मत जाना, खत्म करके उठना।
Okay. Yeah. So can you see my screen? Hello.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So when you open Raven Village, you will be having a login screen. Once you log in, you will see that there is a one menu. From that menu, you can click on the menu and then you can see the My Products. So once you click on My Products, you will see your book over here. Once you click on your book, it will take some time, and now you can download your supporting material. So in book there is a code and everything, so you can take the code or images that assets and everything that you need, so you can download it from this GitHub URL, and then you can click on the book, and it will be opening. Now when I am on the third chapter, but once you click on the getting started and you are on first chapter, so we will be talking about this two chapter for now. And you can take your notes over here. So when you click like congratulations and then highlight this, so you will be seeing your congratulation over here. So this is a notebook. So if you want to take notes, and you can also take your own notes, like this is something or whatever, and you want to customize your fonts and everything, you can do that too. Okay. So yeah, this is the book, and this is how you use it. You can also see that before you begin. So if you want, once you read the chapter, it will be highlighted as a green tick. Like if you want to skip the book, you can also click on the check mark. If you know everything, then you can do on check mark, and it will be marked as a read chapter. Yeah. So the first topic is what is Flutter. Sunny, would you like to tell us about what is Flutter?
So yeah, in most simplest terms, Flutter is a tool which lets you build apps for mobile, for web, for desktop. So with Flutter, you write your code in Dart language, and you will be able to run your apps, create apps for any of the mentioned platforms. And it supports some cool features that everyone loves, like hot reload and hot restart. Then one more thing is that it is completely open source and anyone can go ahead and look at how Flutter works and what is written as part of the framework, and also contribute to it. So there are thousands of contributors who have been helping the project, and it has reached to this point. And uh, the last thing is that in Flutter, everything is a widget. We'll understand what widgets are on the later point, but you will be dealing with a lot of widgets. So that is what Flutter is in simplest terms.
Yeah. So we can say that the whole app is widget. Everything you see on the screen is widget. So Flutter uses Dart as a language, and Dart is a open source language, just like Flutter. And Dart is also Kotlin and Java-like language. So you write object-oriented code and C-type code, and you get the output. Yeah. So who is Flutter for? Himanshu, would you like to answer who is Flutter for?
Sure. So basically, there is no specific requirements or eligibility to for using Flutter. The main thing about Flutter is it is easy to understand. So anyone whosoever is starting with any object-oriented language can work on it directly. I mean, Flutter is developed with, you can say, with the consideration of developer itself. It is very easy to read, easy to build application, easy to understand even. Yeah, if you just go to any repository, anything, and open a Flutter application, you can easily learn about how the application flow is going on, what is the structure, and what are they using basically everything. So there is no limitation if you're coming from web background, okay, or maybe a React.js background, or you're a React developer. Then Flutter is, if you can consider Flutter widgets as reactive components. Yeah, you can consider this. Yeah, and it will be, you can say, a homecoming for you with a similar coding environment and all. If you're coming with Swift, no issues. We are backing you up, no issues at all. If you're coming with any other cross-platform framework, Xamarin, or anything at all, I mean anything, you can easily start learning with Flutter. As I mentioned, easy to read. The community is very huge. You can just reach out to anyone, and community is very lovingly will help you out, like in an instant. Obviously, if not reachable, just let us know. We are always there for you guys. Okay. And apart from this, nothing is required for Flutter. Nothing is required. Just make sure that you are comfortable, or you have a similar or maybe prior knowledge of object-oriented languages, and then you are good. Apart from this, nothing much.
Okay. So according to book, there is some great things about Flutter. So Flutter is open source, so you can see the code and create your own widget. So if you want something more functionality from the pre-made widget, which is already there in the library, so Flutter library, so you can copy that pre-made widget and then paste it in your code, and then you can modify the code and it will work according to your way. Also, Flutter uses Dart language, so it is also a Dart language is open source, and it is UI focused language, and it can compile into native ARM and x86 code, which is cross compiled to JavaScript. So you can compile it to JavaScript too. Uh, and it also support async and await and type interface, and it also interoperable with Kotlin, C++, and Java, and other languages too. Yeah. Okay. So if you are convinced that okay, so if you are not convinced yet, then you can also see the Flutter Dev Showcase. So there are lot of application that is made using Flutter, and you can open this link and see that how many application and what are the UI. And so there are a lot of application, and a lot of companies are using Flutter. So when not to use Flutter? So Sunny, can you answer this question? When not to use Flutter?
Yeah. So now normally, sorry, Flutter is intentionally made for apps which are 2D. So you can
Yeah.
build any apps which has any kind of UI. You can build any kind of UI animation with Flutter, which is 2D in nature. So you'll be able to do any complex thing that we can do on with 2D setting. But if you want to go 3D like games, you should not. That is what it is advised. Then if your app needs native features, like if it needs frequent access to Bluetooth, in case of an app which connects to your hardware or something. So for as an example, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, or other device features, then it is much more sensible to use tools that the platform provides. For example, Android and iOS platform. Then it also does not support watchOS, tvOS, or making iOS app extensions, because it Flutter does not support bitcode, which is required to build those kinds of apps. So that is what is suggested. But you can still build for anything.
Okay. So yeah, according to this book, it is saying that if you are developing any game, then you can go for game engines like uh, Unreal and Unity. So if you want to build a 3D game, then probably go with game engines. But if you want to develop a 2D application and UI related application, then you can go with Flutter. Also, they don't have audio libraries. So Flutter, if you want to develop any application that uses audio, like if you want to cut and paste audio and you want to audio mixing application, then you probably don't have to go with Flutter. So disadvantages. So yeah, and if you want to develop a probably native application like um, what we say that if you want to use Bluetooth or any ML kit or store kit extension, then you should go with a native application too. Yeah. So the second topic is Flutter history. So Flutter comes from tradition of trying improve web performance. So uh, Himanshu, do you know any of? Would you like to answer about what is the history of Flutter, like how Flutter made and what when the idea came of Flutter?
Yeah. So before Flutter, we should be. I think we should be talking about Dart. Why it came to the picture? It came to the picture to improve the experience of JavaScript at that moment of time. I guess around 2013, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
So yeah, the main purpose was to improve the web performance at the very root at that time. But after developing Dart, after testing with Dart and continue working with Dart, they thought that Dart is much more better than JavaScript for app specific things. So basically, we have two types of compiler in Dart, and which is a great thing for Flutter developers. It's a JIT, and another one was
AOT.
ahead. Yeah,
AOT.
AOT. Yep.
AOT.
Um,
Yeah.
yep. AOT. And also, the main thing is the graphic rendering is built on the Skia engine over the Skia engine. So Skia is another Google-based open source project that that powers on the accelerators of Android, Chrome browser, and Commerce and other browsers.
Firefox
So the
too.
main thing about Flutter history is it started with improving web experience, but it is now improving the performance of mobile app developments, but not mobile apps only. It is exclusively being used as a desktop application, web apps too. However, it is not that fluent yet. The web experience is not that fluent yet, but yeah, you can use Flutter Web easily to deploy anything, deploy a SPA or something like this. So this is the history of Flutter. And apart from this, it was um, released in 2017. I don't remember the specific month. I guess it was June and July. Maybe I don't remember the specific thing. But other can help
Yeah.
out with this. Yep.
Okay. Okay. Uh, yeah. So the third topic is Flutter architecture. So Flutter is a layer of cake. So there are three layer of cake of architecture. So we can say there is one is the Flutter framework and plugins. The second one is engine and third one is embedded. So Flutter framework is mostly written in Dart and it contains all the high level libraries and UI widgets, UI theme, widget, layout, animation, gesture, and almost everything. Also plugins. So if you want more uh, more functionality in Flutter, then you install plugins and it will work also that like JSON serialization, geolocation, and camera access. The second one is engine. So engine is written in C++ library, which is mostly used for graphics and text layout accessibility plugins. So yeah, and the third one is embedded. So it mostly it is different for each target platform and handles packaging the code and standalone application to embedded module. So also there is a Flutter framework. So inside Flutter framework, there is more things. So one is UI theme, which is Cupertino and material widgets. Then there is theme. So Cupertino theme is iOS like theme, and material is Android like theme. Then you get widgets. So widgets is styling of text and everything you see in the app is widget. Then there is a rendering. So everything rendering layer. So whatever you see in the screen, so how will it will render. So it also called the rendering layer. And then painting and animation gesture. So what's ahead? So in this book, there are multiple sections. So section one is introduction. So what is Flutter and everything. Then section two is all about widget. So how we will use widget and how we will make the app. Then we will cover in third section. We will be covering the navigation and deep links. So from moving to one screen to another screen, and the deep links, which is so opening the link in the application. In section 4, we will go about state and data management. In section 5, we will be deploying an application. And in section 6, we will be building an instance messaging application using Firebase and Cloud Firestore. So getting started. So what we need for building an application. So we need a desktop, which can be Windows, Mac OS, Linux, or Chrome OS. And if you want to build for iOS, then you probably need Mac OS and Flutter SDK and Java JDK. And then editor, which is Android Studio and VS Code. You can choose anyone. You can also choose the editor, which is, I don't know, Eclipse? No, not Eclipse. Third one, I don't remember the name. Emacs. Okay, so you can also use Emacs. So currently Flutter supports three editor officially. So you will be seeing all those in the get started mode. Get started. So you can set up the editor from this one. So you can go for Android Studio, IntelliJ, or VS Code, and then Emacs. So all the uh, procedure is over here. So from getting your Flutter SDK, so you can click on the get started and install your Flutter SDK from this link. And once you install this link, you will be seeing some commands like Flutter help. So what Flutter help does is, let me show you. Flutter help. The Flutter help will show you what are the commands that is accepting accepted by Flutter SDK, and you can make changes. And then Flutter Doctor. So Flutter Doctor is also a command. So Flutter Doctor. So Flutter Doctor is a command which will let you know that everything is working. So I have installed Flutter SDK, then Android toolchain, Chrome, which is development for Chrome, Android Studio, IntelliJ IDEA, VS Code, and connected devices too available. So Flutter Doctor checks that everything is ready. Then setting up ID. So can Sunny, can you show setting up ID? How to set up ID for Mac on Linux?
Yes. So
Okay.
on Mac, Windows, or Linux, we have multiple IDs supported, and my favorite IDE is IntelliJ IDEA for now. And before that, I was using VS Code. So let me show you both. So let's open VS Code and first of all share my screen. I miss this every single time. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, it is on. Okay. This is your regular VS Code ID. And once you have installed your Flutter SDK corresponding, depending on your platform, for example, for macOS, you have followed all the procedure which were showed on the Flutter's website. You can go to VS Code and look for Flutter extension. This one, which is provided by Dart Code. You can install this, and two plugins, Flutter and Dart, will get installed with each other. So once they are there, you can open your command palette and look for commands related to Flutter. And if you are able to see those commands, then your ID is ready to go. And one more thing that you can do is go to terminal, zoom in a little, and try Flutter Doctor. Flutter Doctor will tell you all about your installation in your computer. And right now it says that I have Flutter 2.5.3 on my computer. Android toolchain is ready. That means all the things that is needed for Android, building Android apps. And ignoring all this, if we go to bottom, VS Code, it is showing that I have my VS Code ready for Flutter development. Similarly, I have other IDEs. As I said, my IntelliJ IDEA is also ready. So IntelliJ IDEA is very similar to Android Studio. Actually, Android Studio is based on IntelliJ IDEA. So let me open IDEA. And once the steps to install plugin in IntelliJ IDEA or Android Studio, both are similar. So once you open IntelliJ IDEA or Android Studio, you can go to plugin section. If you are already using them, then you already know how to get into plugin section. But normally it is shown on the main screen of your IDE when you open it. And you can search for Flutter in the marketplace. And here it is. Here also, if you install Flutter, another plugin Dart will automatically get installed along with it. And there are many other plugins that you can also get, which help you in Flutter development. So I have this one, Flutter Enhancement Suite. Then there is another one which is called Flutter Snippets. So you can look around and see if you like something else, you can add those to your toolset. So this was the way to get your IDE ready. And in all those IDE, once you install plugin, you will be able to see options related to creating Flutter apps. Or if you open a Flutter app in that IDE, it will detect uh, many things. It will highlight your code, and it will let you run your app on targets like Android, your Android phone or simulator, or iOS simulator. So yeah, that's that. Uh, okay, did Bharat leave? Oh yeah, temporarily. So what next? Let me look at the book. Um, okay, no problem. Bharat will continue. Bharat got a little busy. Let me share my screen, and let's continue, Himanshu. So here is the book, and we were near uh, which point?
Flutter doctor point.
Flutter Doctor. So there was this command Flutter help, which lets you know about all the commands that are available uh, under Flutter command in your terminal. And as I just showed, that Flutter Doctor will tell you all about your installation status in your computer. So here is an example, and also it should be there. Okay, it has gone, no problem. So it will show you what is the status of your Flutter installation. So if there is any issue with your SDK, it will be highlighted here only. So Doctor is your one stop uh, for understanding any issues with your toolset. Then it will also tell you about your Android SDK, your Xcode and Cocoa pods. It will also tell you about all the IDs that you have on your computer which are supported, and either they are ready or not. It will also tell you about all the devices that are connected here. And if you are facing issues with any of those, then it will try to suggest you options, or probably will give you links to resolve any known issues. So we have already set up the IDE. Uh, let's not set up the IDE on screen because it will take some time. But what we can do now is create a new project. So how to create a new project, a new Flutter project, specifically a Flutter app on any of your preferred IDEs. So let Himanshu, would you like to take over?
Sure. Just a minute.
Okay. By the way, which IDE do you like?
Obviously, VS Code. Lightweight. I like my
Yeah.
stuff lightweight.
Hmm.
Okay, I hope my screen is visible now.
Waiting for a screen to come on this stage. It is not yet here. Okay, found it. Here. Your screen is now live.
Okay, so basically, I use VS Code for almost everything. I don't prefer using Android Studio much unless there's some requirement. So if you go to extensions, I hope it is visible. Hmm. Yeah, and search for Flutter. It is already installed here. Yep, Flutter is already installed. Okay, reload is required. Let's ignore this for now. But yeah, Flutter is already installed. That means Dart is already installed. So how can we create a new application? So open this. I can say a command palette with Control P for me VS Code. So you can search for the filter command here, and here you will see something like, oh, nothing is visible now. Let's check. Oh, okay. Sorry, it was F1. My bad, my bad. Yeah. So yeah. So how do you create a new Flutter project? So there are two ways of creating Flutter project via your command line tool, and second one is using ID. According to your ID, there will be different properties or options to create a new project. So for example, on VS Code, you can create the project like this, Flutter new project. If you tap on it, okay, yeah. Then this will ask you some new things: application, module, package, plugin, or skeleton. So, what are these things? So, application is generally speaking your whole application. Application means your application. By the term module, it means that you're creating a Flutter module which can be imported in your Android or iOS mobile application. For example, you are attaching your Flutter module into your Kotlin build application or Swift build application. So that's how you can use Flutter in native app development too. And what does package and plugin means? So package means everything or any extension that you are building with Dart only, and plugin means a kind of package that will be using some native SDKs of your particular device, any accelerators or anything. So there's a difference between package and plugin. And then we have skeleton. Skeleton is new thing in Flutter. Let's skip this for now. We will talk about this later. But main thing here is the application part. So which template we are choosing application here. So after click on application or selecting application, this will prompt us to build application. So let me add it in the web application too. So maybe example application. That's it. Okay, because example folder is not present here, then I will skip this and just select this folder. The folder currently is web apps and Flutter. Select this folder. Then we have to choose a particular name of our application. By default, it derives a name according to itself. For now, it is a Flutter application _1. Let's go with this. Enter. And now what will happen? Now we just have to wait for the, you can say, flutter.create command to automate the plugin. It is being created by plugin. So the plugin is doing our work. He is creating the application. We have provided the minimum requirement, the location and the name of the application. So Flutter create will create the whole application, and let's just wait for it. Now Flutter create template app override running. Yep, let's see how much time it takes. You can see the output in the console itself.
It does not take this long. It is just
Yeah,
because we are
it
sharing
is
the
just because.
screen.
Yep,
Hmm.
and also it's been a long time since I've used this laptop. I work on the other one. That's why. Okay, then everything is built. Now, if you see the project structure here, you will see a lot of things. But for now, focus on three things: Android, iOS, and web. So, as we mentioned, that Flutter is a cross-platform application development kit. Now we have Android support now and iOS support, and then we have web support on default when you create a template application. And this is the root of your project, the main.dart method. So as mentioned previously by Sunny and Bharat, we have a single code base which runs on all these different platforms, either it be Android, iOS, web, or for desktop, you have to enable that particular platform specification. So this is how you create a Flutter example application via your IDE. The other way is to create your application directly via terminal. So how can we do that? So let's skip for this. Yeah, let's go to terminal only. Yeah, so for this thing, I will go back to the Flutter folder. Yeah, this is a Flutter directory in my um, D directory. So how can we create Flutter application? So let's start with Flutter help. If I remember correctly, it is this. My PC is quite slow. Pardon me for this. It is quite slow. So let's directly go to create. But to create and directly, okay, so we are already in a particular folder. We can directly paste a application name here. For example, example underscore one, and it will create the application. I hope it doesn't take too much time. Yeah. So the application, yeah, wire terminate is much faster than the ID itself. Now application is already created and it is now fetching the packages. So if I do ls here, you will see a lot of application and are recent made too. One is flutter underscore application underscore one, which was built using the flutter extension in VS Code or either in your favorite ID. And second one is example underscore one, which is built using the terminal itself. So these are the ways you can create a Flutter application. It's quite easy. Just need to mention the name of your application and that is it. For further configuration about names and more configuration about icons and all, that will be done further in later in this book. I hope this is enough for now to display how to create a Flutter application. I mean, it was instantaneous for it will be instantaneous for you because my system is quite slow, so it is taking some time. As you can see, it is still analyzing. So you can grab the situation here. I'll stop sharing now.
Sure. So now we know how to create a Flutter app. Let's try to run the app and see what we can,
Okay,
and
sure.
try to understand what all is there in the app, and understand few main features of the app, of the Flutter project. So let me
Okay, so
add Bharat. He's back.
okay, Bharat is also here. Cool.
Should I do that? Should I share my screen and let's start? Let's create a new project and run it.
Sure.
Sure, sure. It's up to you.
So I hope it is visible. So I have my simulator open, and let me go to command palette and do the same thing that you just showed us. New project. I want to create an application specifically here, and let's call it counter, because the default application that we get after Flutter create is a counter app. There are many other templates or say examples available which you can find out from the documentation, and you'll be able to create it from the command line itself or here. So here, now our app is ready, and as Himanshu showed us just, that there is Android, iOS, and web, and these three folder. If you see these three folder, that means that your project will be able to run on any of those platforms. So if I try to run it on iOS, the simulator on the right, it will run. If I try to change my device to Chrome, I'll be able to run on web, or if I connect my Android phone or open an Android simulator, I'll be able to run on that too without changing any code. So that is cool as a developer to be able to write once and run everywhere. So let's try to run and see what is happening. To run in the VS Code, we just go to run tab, or on the right, we also get this tool to run. I'll press any of those and it will start building. So while it builds, let's look at other files that are there, other notable files. So Android and iOS contains the code for underlying code for Android and iOS module. So they help us build our Flutter app for iOS and Android, similarly for web. And there is this test. So later when you want to start writing test for your code, you can. Then git ignore is for git. You may very well know how it works. Then there are other files related to Flutter, but another notable one is pubspec.yaml. So what this file contains is it contains information about your Flutter app. If you look at the top, the name, the description, then there is this tag which is used for packages. So if you are building a package, this publish to will have some different value. Then version. So in Flutter, when you think about building multiple kinds of apps, so Android and iOS and other apps from one place, then you may also want to consider naming your versions. So how do you do that? So Flutter gives you a way that you write your version string here and your version number by placing plus in between, and it will be applied to whatever you build, either Android or iOS app. It will be applied there also. So one less thing to worry about. The next is SDK version. So this SDK is for Dart SDK. So this app says that it supports only Dart version greater than or equal to 2.12 or less than 3. Now this part which we will use the most is dependencies. Dependencies is like libraries. In other cases, frameworks, or wherever you come from, libraries, frameworks, or whatever. Dependencies is also said, or say if you are coming from JavaScript, you may compare it with npm. So it is a Dart dependency, and the one that which is there is Cupertino, this version. You can add more packages here by finding it from pub.dev. So pub.dev is uh, you may call it,
A
you can
package
browse
manager.
packages, package manager, right? So here anyone can publish their packages. For example, the popular package that you may want to get is to get Google sign-in feature using this package. Then there are many which you may end up using because uh, so most of the features, if you want to build something and if you try to search, you'll find a package for it. For example, HTTP, if you want to connect with Firebase, there is a package. If you want to work with Supabase, or so many different packages you'll be able to find, and you can write their names here, and the instructions are there in the package itself. For example, here, shared preference Windows. This is a Windows specific package for shared preference. So let me go to the original one, this one. And you have this installing tab where you are given what to copy paste in your pubspec YAML. After doing that, you can run flutter pub get or press this button, get packages, and you will the library or the package will be downloaded and added to your project, and you'll be able to use it. So, and there are many other places. So next thing is how this one, assets. So if you want to add external files like images to show in the app, or audio files, or any kind of files that you want to be included in the app, then you can um, put them in the directory somewhere here, and write the path of that in this. So that was all about pubspec. There are so many other things that you can do with pub.dev and pubspec YAML. But let's go back to our main and see our app is already here. This app is a simple counter. where you tap this plus button and it will increment the counter. So how it works is you have this code in main.dart, and your execution starts from, let me zoom in a little. The execution for a Dart application or say Flutter application starts from main, and you have the first function, which is run app. What it does is run app takes a widget and then shows it up on your screen. And the description for run app is here. Uh, this is a stateless widget. So, about widgets, how do you describe it, Himanshu? What are widgets?
Okay, so okay, where's my camera? Yeah, here I am. So basically, these are the building blocks of your application. By building blocks, I mean it is widgets that are displayed in your Flutter application if you are using it. Like for example, if I as shown by Sunny, the counter application, there's a lot of widgets that are working behind that rendering part, which is display that particular thing. And as I mentioned, these are the building blocks which display the UI of your whole application. So widgets are literally the building blocks of your application. So so in this counter application, if you go to the my homepage thing, the material app is first of all, let's start with the main.dart and with the void main. As you know, if you are coming from a coding background or anywhere, you know the main method is the root of everything. So here we have void main as usual, the main method which is starting an application and then attaching run app which renders the Flutter application to a UI. So run app will call the my app class, or you can say a widget which is a stateless widget. You might be wondering about what is stateless widget. We will talk about this later on. So let's first talk about the my app class or widget. So we have my app which is overriding a build method. So what is this build method? And why are we overriding it? So build method is already present in the Flutter SDK itself, and by overriding it, we are just passing. You can say passing acknowledgement that yeah, we are overriding the build method via this particular widget or this particular view. So render this view in the application itself. So in the Flutter SDK, we are overriding the build method to render something unique in the view. As obviously you can see the description in the screen itself. Um, so it represents the UI of your application. Then if you scroll down, you will be returning a material application. So what is a material app? Just a minute. So what is a material app? So, as mentioned by Bharat, we have two kinds of UI likewise, like Kubernetes applications and material app. So, material app renders the UI as per the material, you can say material UI or color scheme, and it provides a lot of feature for us. As you can see, there are a lot of properties here in the material class itself. We have a lot of things to work upon, but for now, as a starting point, let's start with the title point. So the title here is Flutter example or demo application, which is just the just a title of your, or maybe a name of your application. Then we have theme. In the theme property of the material app, we are defining the whole theme of your application. The primary swatch color defines the color accent of your mobile application. Okay, so then we have okay. So talking about widgets, there's these material app widget provides the material app schema. Then we have some basic widgets for everyone to easily understand and use. So if you scroll down a little, you will be seeing my homepage widget, which is then overriding the build method again. But there we have something common which you might be familiar with: a text widget, a row widget, or a column widget. So these are one of the most common widget that is being used that will be used by you on the everyday basis. These are the things that build or create a layout of your application for a particular screen. So okay, so let me share another screen for the basic layout or basic widgets in Flutter, because you might be overwhelmed with the main.dart thing and all the set state thing. So if you go to flutter.dev slash, okay, let me share the UI itself. I'm commenting it.
Yeah, you can share it.
I can share it. Okay.
Should I open the page where we can see all the widgets?
Yeah, yeah, I have shared it in the private chat. You can check it.
Okay.
Or maybe I can share the screen.
Okay. So well, let's look at the widgets first. Some
Yeah,
widgets,
the
and
base.
then we'll try to demo this hot reload thing, what it is and how it works.
Yeah. So
Um,
if you go to
Flutter
now you
widgets.
can just search for flutter.dev slash development slash UI slash widgets and then like this. No, we are using the text widget directly.
Uh, okay, I'm only getting confused. Let me just open your link. Where is it?
No, in the it's in the private chat.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, wait. Yeah,
Yeah, opened. So there are
cool.
many different kinds of widgets that you can see, and this widget catalog presents them nicely.
Yeah, and these
So
are the most basic ones that you will be using on a daily basis. So first common widget is app bar. So as the name says, app bar app bar designs the application bar of your filter application. So as you can see in the image, we have a you can say a row containing a app bar text, and then we have some icons over it. So this will be on the top of your screen, and it will be static. It will not be scrolled at all. So this is one of the basic widgets that you will be using. As the name says, app bar is creating an app bar. Then we have column widget, which is helping you to build a layout. So by column, it means you are aligning your aligning your UI components vertically. So in a vertical order, you are displaying something. So column is used to display multiple widgets, or you can say multiple UI components vertically. Then we have container. So as the name suggests, container is something that will be you used to display or contain something inside it. So container can be used to display anything at all. I mean, container is basically a widget to display UI of any height, width, color, any kind of border, any kind of padding margin at all. So container is basically one of the strongest widgets in my opinion. It's my favorite thing after the fitted box. So the container is one of the most popular widgets to develop a particular thing with a particular height and width for your minimal requirement. So if you scroll down, then you will be seeing something more, which is some buttons. So about buttons, as the name suggests,
Himanshu,
button. Yep. I guess we are
uh,
going too deep, right? Got it.
there
Got it.
will, if we go looking for widgets, then there will be so many different widgets, and let's just go over with the names. Then
Yeah.
so next
So yeah.
one
Okay.
is
Next.
buttons. So you have elevated buttons, which is the material style button. Then surprisingly or unsurprisingly, Flutter SDK has this Flutter logo widget, which has just one thing to do: show Flutter logo. Then there is this icon with which you can draw icons on your screen or say place icons, and all the material icons are there, uh, provided by default. Then image, there you can add images in your app from assets that you will include, or from network by using a URL. Then you have placeholder. So if you are building something, you just want to put a placeholder before building some portion of the UI to while layouting the app. You can do that. Then there is row to place things in horizontal axis. Then there is scaffold, which gives you basic building blocks of building a screen. Then the most basic one, text. So there are so many other widgets than the ones which we see here, and you can look at it. We will look at it in the next episodes. But now let's see a feature, hot reload, which is the one of the most loved features of Flutter, because it gives very nice developer experience. Whenever we are building apps, we can think really fast in terms of ideas, but our tools, I mean Flutter or whichever tool is you are using, should also be able to keep up. So with Flutter, you have this unique ability to iterate very quickly. And I hope everyone will agree, whoever has already tried working with web or working with Flutter already. So in Flutter, uh, if you want to change something, probably UI or behavior of your app, you can change it instantaneously. Let's try. So we have this number 2 in the center, and let's try to change the size of it because it seems very small to be able to shown on the live stream. So let's try to find a text widget, which is this. We'll try to understand the hierarchy and many other properties later. We'll inspect this project again in the next episode, but let's try uh, to uh, to be less technical and try to read the code. So here, what we can see is there is a column, and inside column there are children, and it is an array. If you are coming from any, if you have seen this notation in any other language, this is the square bracket stands for an array. Then we have a text which says you have pushed this button this many times, and there is another text which is somehow showing this counter. So this is the way uh, to show to what do you call it, string interpolation, you may call it, showing I mean mixing and matching variable values and showing it as a string. So it is showing the counter's value on the screen there, and it has a style with headline 4. So headline 4 is from material guidelines, and in material guideline, if you try to look at suggestions, there are many different styles for a text. So what we can do, let's try to increase the size. So headline 1 will be, should be the largest one. So we have changed our code, and if we try to press command s or control s, then it should automatically reflect the all the this change should automatically reflect on the screen. And with Flutter it happens very quickly. Let me show. So 3, 2, 1. So it was that quick. If we look at our debug console, it is showing that the app was reloaded in 243 milliseconds. So most of the time, even if you have made some changes in your app, in your UI or behavior, you should be able to hot reload under 1 second. And that makes iterating the apps and trying different ideas very easy and very quick. And that is why Flutter is one of the most loved languages, or say, sorry, SDK, to build mobile apps and other kinds of apps in the world. So, what you can do now we are already at 5:21 and we have some time left. So what you can do is, in your own computer, try to install this Flutter SDK and try to create a new app and tinker with it. Try to change the code, break it, then try to alter things and see, uh, and have fun with it in simplest manner. So yeah, let's see what book has next and if we can go through it or not. So the next chapter is Hello Flutter, and the first point is creating a new app, which we have already seen. Using Flutter Create or using your IDE, you'll be able to follow the book or instructions on official Flutter site to understand how to do Flutter Create, or say create new app on your own ID. And then it is showing how. Okay. So it is showing us all the things that we just described, uh, all the components of the app which got built by default using Flutter create command or in a new app in the counter app that we have. So what you can do, we have already gone through most of it, and what you can do, you can try to read it and understand the content and tinker with it and go to widget catalog and try to add widgets like button, text, try to change color of something. So have fun. And what we will do, we will try to cover the same thing again in the next episode. And the next episode is going to happen on Saturday, next Saturday. Let me stop sharing my screen, Himanshu. Yeah. So let's close this session for today. And I have already told you the assignment. So for you, the next assignment is to try to tinker with the app that you will create after installing Flutter SDK in your computer. You can also try to take a look at Dartpad if you want to, if you are unable to create. Then go through the next chapters, which is widgets in the book. So we have basic widgets and then understanding widgets. There are chapter 3 and 4. Try to take a look at them also. We'll follow the book on those chapters next time. And if you need help, how to get help. So what we will do is create. We already have Flutter India Discord channel, and on that we will create a new section uh, for this for Flutter book, and we will try to help you there, and you can also get help from other people who are trying to learn Flutter. So feel free to ask any questions. No question is small or big. Do not feel embarrassed. Everyone will be very helpful, and they have been so far. Um, what else? So, what is the schedule for Flutter Book Club meetups that we are going to do? Is it is Saturday and Sunday. Saturday we'll try to do this at 9 in the night, 9 p.m. And on Sunday we'll do this at the same time at 4 p.m. What else? Um, and also join Flutter Ahmedabad on meetup.com. We'll be publishing events and sending you updates through meetup.com. And do connect us on Twitter. Uh, let me post. some links there. Uh, Poonam, can you share the links on on the channel on the public comments?
Hi everyone. I'm really sorry, Sunny. I can't do that. I haven't logged in that way. Maybe we can post it later on as well. That's fine.
Sure.
I hope you guys had good time, both of you and the people joining along. We are super excited to know your feedback on today's virtual library plus coding session. Let us know in the comments, or if you are stuck somewhere, please drop a tweet using Flutter Ahmedabad hashtag. It's less of a marketing, more of a helping. So it's not a necessary that you'll have to follow or subscribe or like and comment the channel, though I've already said everything, but it's not necessary. Just learn along with us and make some applications or projects which are helpful and can make people's life easier, and that's all a win thing. So yeah, we'll see you again on next Saturday. Thank you everyone for joining us, and that's us closing the show for today. Thank you.